this insightful presentation. Moving on to our next presentation titled Knowledge Without Borders, Secure, Ethical and Sustainable Digital Learning, presented by Dr. Fawzia Idris. She's the Associate Professor and Program Director in Royal Holloway, University of London. Please have a round of applause to welcome her.
Hello everyone. I think I need. Thank you so much. Hello everyone. I'm Fozia Idris. I hope you can hear me. And I think everyone has already spoke what I was supposed to speak. So I'm not going to take much time, and it's lunchtime very soon. But I have prepared a few slides, so I will make sure I will cover those. And And thank you so much, Coursera and MBRA, for this opportunity to talk to you people, and especially on the topic which is very close to my heart. So we are at a moment where learning, we are at a moment of global transformation across all sectors. And right now, the boundaries of learning are not defined by geography or national or localized systems, but it is defined by our collective ambitions and our collective responsibility to use technology for human development. And at this time of global, I call it global digital industrial revolution, where learning and education is not, has actually expanded beyond classrooms, beyond institutions, and even beyond borders. So my favorite quote from Nelson Mandela, I said, education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. And I think this fact still remains same. There's no change, but obviously this weapon now needs to be sharpened with cybersecurity, and this weapon needs to be guided by responsible use of artificial intelligence and technology and ethics. And obviously the inclusivity for all. It's not like the education is now not for some nations or for some communities, but it's for all, because if we are looking for sustainable communities, sustainable societies, we have to make education accessible for all. So my topic for today's talk, because I'm a professor of cybersecurity, I can't live without security. And I'm also ambassador for responsible artificial intelligence, so I can't leave that as well. So my topic is knowledge without borders, secure, ethical, and sustainable digital learning ecosystem. And excuse me in advance because I can't go with this script. I just talk with my heart. So, so the distance learning has become the most powerful connector for the world, because it could connect a child in a refugee settlement in Lebanon to a classroom in Geneva, and it could connect a girl in Malawi to the same resources which are used by Harvard University students. And I will give an example of our own MSc, which we run with Coursera, how students from Africa and all continents, they are using the same quality education. They are using the same resources which our students from America or advanced countries are using. I will talk about that later. So distance learning, actually, it collapses distances. It democratizes access to quality education, and it bridges gaps across borders. So I think it's really the power enabler for technology and for quality education. And as Secretary General of United Nations, Antonio said, education is the key to personal development and the future of societies. So if education is the key, then I think secure and responsible digital learning platforms are the doors to unlock for all learners, for all societies, if we are really looking for sustainable societies in the world. And some figures about global digital education market. It's projected that the digital learning market is going to grow to $134 billion from 26 billion, which is today. So there is a lot of opportunity for investment, for contribution as a social purpose, as a profit. So I think it's all win-win situation. So when we say knowledge without borders, what does it mean? It means learning and education flows freely across nations, across cultures, and it provides open education resources that bridges divides among communities, among nations, and it provides collaboration without any limits. So it actually, knowledge without borders means it connects the world. World becomes a global country or global nation. And there's already a lot of work going on. I'll give two examples of UNESCO. UNESCO open education resources are already reaching more than 100 countries. Similarly, Coursera, their contents are available like MOOCs. Open courses are also available to citizens of 190 countries. But that openness is obviously meaningful when the learners feel safe to access those open um, resources. So I'm very strong advocate of online and distance learning, but there are few challenges. It means we need to be very careful, very responsible to use these digital platforms. Uh, there are a lot of, but the major one is cybersecurity threats, the rise of ransomware, and targeted cyber attacks on schools, universities. They actually obviously make our students, our learners vulnerable, and their data could be stolen. It is stolen. Obviously, if the security is not there. And then the data privacy and governance, because when you are talking about distance learning, online learning, you are actually dealing with different regulations of different countries. So it's a challenge because different regulations, legal and even the intellectual property rights, they are different for different nations. And the responsible AI and ethics of using AI, not only AI, but I would say any technology and innovation, because it could produce bias if it's not, even the algorithms or the models are not trained on culturally sensitive data, because model or algorithm are nothing without data. And it all depends on data. If data is biased, it means your systems are biased. And the last one is inclusive. Like you have to come up with inclusive digital learnings, digital platform. What does it means? Like the learning should be in different languages. It should take care of different cultural barriers, and especially for underrepresented communities. So I'll start with cybersecurity, and right now I would say for digital or distance learning platforms, security is no more a choice. It's a non-negotiable feature because if digital platforms are not implementing proper security, their systems won't work. And because cybersecurity is not just for the protection of data, it's for the protection of identity, dignity, and dreams of our learners who are using those digital platforms. And we have seen this, that the trust actually encourages engagement from learners, participation, because they don't have fear their data will be stolen or their data will be misused. So just since 2020, there are 60% institutes who have reported different sort of cyber attacks, like ransomware and all sort of cyber attacks. Responsible AI. So right now, what we are actually doing, we are actually building responsible or building or using AI and technology on already developed technology. So whenever we are using AI, we should make it part of our design. The responsible AI by it should be embedded in the design of digital learning systems, because if it's not, then it can widen the already available the gap between communities in learning. And ethics strengthens trust, and obviously it promotes inclusion and diversity. So when we talk about responsible AI, there are four pillars of responsible AI. Means how can we make sure that AI which we are using is used responsibly? The explainability, fairness, accountability, and transparency. So transparency is like learners and even the staff, the educators, they should know how the data was collected, which was used to train the models for AI, and how the data is used, and the underlying logic beyond AI's models. Similarly, accountability is like if something goes wrong with the AI technology, then who should be accountable? Like machine can't be accountable, right? So there should be someone who could be accountable, like, okay, whosoever implemented or designed or even used. So there should be some accountability. And then fairness is like making sure that the data is being used for training of AI models, which is representative of different cultures, nations, and it's not being misused for some communities. Um, and then explainability is like why are we using those AI algorithms? Why are we using different processes? And why students are learning what they are learning? It should be explained to students. It should not be a black box to them that, okay, this is AI, now you are going to use it, and there's no explanation. So equality, diversity, and inclusiveness, this is, I think, the most important pillar of digital platforms. And it's a design principle. And it's not just the cultural and other inclusivity, it's like the bandwidth. When we design our contents and platforms, we should take care of bandwidth limitations because connectivity is not available to all people, and we should actually opt for different smartphone and mobile related, contents and delivery models. And there should be some multilingual resources for people from different background and using different languages. And diversity, obviously, not only inclusive but diversity, because it extends your the community and the development. So now I would really like to share some success stories, because it's not like there's nothing going on. A lot of work is going on. Coursera is doing a lot of work. United Nations, UNESCO, and UNDP, they are already doing. So for example, Sub-Saharan Africa, uh, they are using UNESCO-supported digital inclusion initiative, which is providing access to education to children who didn't have access to quality education before this initiative. Similarly, Southeast Asia and the regional micro-credential ecosystem, it has opened pathways to youth generation, and they can start their own businesses. They are not relying on jobs and employments. And similarly, global platform like Coursera, they have seen over 40 million learners from developing and emerging markets just after 2020 alone. And I would really like to share my own MSc cybersecurity example, because we are actually using all those pillars of responsible AI, cybersecurity into this MSc, and this MSc has won many awards as well. And how are we making sure? First of all, this MSc is not just Royal Holloway's MSc, it's a partnership between Coursera, Royal Holloway, and University of London. And it's globally accessible. Like within 3 years, we started in 2022, and within 3 years, we have a student body of almost 1,400 students just in 3 years. And those learners are not computer scientists or from any technical background. They can come from any background. So this program, which is being offered by Royal Holloway. Royal Holloway is the UK's university which started cybersecurity education in United Kingdom in back to 1990s. So that quality education is currently being accessed by people in different countries of the world while sitting from their home. And some examples of those MSc, how are we making sure that we are inclusive? We are using AI responsibly, and we are giving equal opportunities to all the learners. First example is CyberRange. This is the only distance learning program which is using CyberRange. CyberRange is a platform which can be used by learners to simulate real-time cyber attacks, and they can use this CyberRange while working in teams while sitting in different countries like Malawi, Washington, and they all are working as a team, and they are developing and defending different real time like scenarios of cyber attack. And the second innovation and we used is intensive boot camps, because our learners are not only from technical background. We have opened this program for any people from any background. So people who don't have computing background, we offer for free boot camps for them so that they have the same level of skills which computing and other technical people have. And we are also using artificial intelligence and machine learning based malware and ransomware detection um, labs for students. And recently we have actually come up with a book which is just MSc. The whole MSc is in a book. So it's really a big effort from our module leaders. And this book is available for anyone. And the learners, they even don't need to go online. They can just take this book and they can prepare, and then they can learn a lot of things about security. So, so as promised, I hope I didn't take much time. And so a call to action, I'll just conclude with that. Whenever we think about digital or distance learning platforms, these are like things which we should take care of: secure platforms, ethical or responsible AI by design. It should not be afterthought, and it should be inclusive and diverse, and we should take care of equity, and we should use sustainable models. It's like reduce e-waste and use green tech technologies. And the last and the most important is to foster collaboration, because without collaboration, I think nothing is possible. So that's all from me. Thank you. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.